So what we are um, talking about here today can't be talked about. And that's the paradox, really, because when words are being used normally in normal situations, something would be being described. That's normally what would happen in a meeting. Something would be imparted from someone to someone. But what this is can't be described, and yet it appears as the sentence, what is can't be described. In other words, what we really are talking about is the hearing of a voice, the inescapable intimacy of hearing. And what then can be said about that? Well, whatever appears to be being said, but it won't ever be caught, held, or known. It won't be something apart or other that can be talked about as if it was other than the hearing of a voice, and then whatever reactions appear from that. Like, for example, well, what does he mean by that? Or what's he saying? What's he talking about? And that, in a way, is the paradox of something like this, the total dilemma, because the world is built on knowings. It's a house of words where everything is normally known or put in a box of not knowable or whatever. And what's been described here is even beyond any kind of idea of knowing or unknowing. Unknowing is not a known thing. So really, in essence, this is the mystery: the hearing of a voice, feelings in the body, sitting, breathing, whatever has been felt, heard, thought, wondered about, sought. That's the mystery. The mystery also includes wanting to know that this is a mystery, wanting to understand it, get to it. The mystery also, the mystery is as everything, appearing as everything. So it includes feeling apart, feeling other than, feeling like something is missing or whatever. There's a gazillion different stories about what is and how it's felt. And in a way, this is a sharing where nothing really is on offer, nothing is being explained, nothing is being described, and nothing is known. And that isn't a knowing either. And so then words are being used and they don't have a heaviness to them because they aren't trying to explain something or impart or help anyone, because no one is seen and no one is and that doesn't deny anything. That doesn't refute anything that's been said or felt. Really, it's a gathering, a somehowness, and in this gathering there can be questions, and if there's something there to be asked or wondered about, or just need to be asked, doesn't have to be questions, of course, but if there is something, then it's there to be asked. Like, this is about the mystery that is no one's, and really all that's being described here is that this, or what is, or life, or wholeness, is just happening, and that there isn't anyone in there, behind the eyes, under the crown of the head, that can acquire anything, that already there's just what is. And that's not a sentence. There's nothing, there's nothing soothing or comforting in saying, oh, well, there's just what's appearing to happen. But that description is as close, perhaps, to get without delving deep into a story about this happening. This is nothing happening, but nothing happening appears as the sound of a voice, of hearing, of thoughts, of feelings, of whatever is felt and being described. That would also be what is, and it won't be caught, but let's have a go. So if anything is there to be asked. And if you haven't been here before, just click the unmute button and jump in and ask whatever you want to ask. Or alternatively, just put a comment in and I'll get to that when I get to that.
Frank, John and Cork here. How are we getting on?
Not too bad, John. How are you doing?
Good. Just to say, Frank, just that the spontaneous unplanned meeting that kind of happened this morning, that's pretty cool. Thanks.
Thank you. Hi, Frank. I've watched a number of recordings of a speaker doing one-on-one talks with seekers. They often result in laughter on both sides. My interpretation is that the seeker has fallen away. Can you comment on this? Well, laughter doesn't need a self, and laughter can just be laughter. And seeking doesn't need a self; it can just be seeking. So the idea that in a way it's that something can be had falls away, or that there is someone that can fall away falls away, and lost in the image of what liberation might be falls away. But I think sometimes these one-on-ones can give the impression that something happens. But if something happened, then it would be known as a thing that happened, and it could be then described, and it would be an event in time and space, a linear thing that happens again. And that seems to be more acquisition for that which loves acquiring. And yeah, really, nothing happening is not a gray, murky sort of thing that then still happens. It's using words, and as soon as any word is used, it's objectified. Even nothing, but is objectified. So laughter is laughter. Buckets of tears is buckets of tears. So it's always the impression that something can fall away, and I still sense that this sort of communication, which doesn't make it special, but with nothing on offer, is still the rarest of sounds. And it's not anyone's communication then. It's just and it's so nothing to do with any word, and it's not to do with using words like there is no self, or this is nothing happening, or there's just what's appearing to happen. It's nothing to do with those sentences being used. It's the flavor. It won't ever be had because it's immediately as this. It's immediately as hearing, intimately, inescapably, and also the wondering, the thoughts about that, the butting. It's inescapably that, and that won't be held onto. So nothing falls away, and there is no self that can. Seeking can perhaps stop, let's just say. But nobody will do that, and nobody started it. And also, it's sort of attractive always. It really does. It's attractive to give the impression that, people are falling away and all that. I think it just locks the seeker into waiting for something to happen. But that's what's felt anyway. Really, seeking is essentially, it can't be this. The physiological movement of it can't be this. Now, you can't do that or not do that. That would be just what is, that's what's happening. And that's all that's ever been described here, these sorts of sharings, is that this, or life, is just happening, wholly contained as whatever is appearing to happen. And that includes everything. But essentially, the movement is, it can't be this. It can't be the hearing of a voice. It can't be, it must be in what he's describing. It can't be as describing. It can't be as hearing. And that's just how it is. That's just how it plays out. There isn't a kind of a, an understanding then of, oh, well, that's how it is, and the seeker is doing that. There isn't anyone. Nothing can be known, not even an inch, a centimeter. There aren't parts that are known and not known. Nothing is knowable. And that's not a knowing either. If you had anything more to ask about that, Gareth, obviously, just go for it.
I wondered if these one-on-ones do look so attractive, and get the impression if I joined in with a speaker and had the one-on-one, the aim of the speaker is to get the character out of the speaker, or to somehow encourage this falling away to take place.
Yeah, And you know, I put my telephone number on the website, and people can ring me anytime. But I don't like the idea of one-on-ones. I think they're just a kind of a therapy, and it's a kind of a safety and a comforting, soothing sort of idea. I think, and it also is quite attractive. It gives then the impression, you know, by posting videos, that there is someone, and that they can then fall away. And I really, for whatever reason, that just doesn't seem to happen. And you know, money could be made and all that, but it just, for whatever reason, doesn't seem to be, no energy goes towards that at all. And it's like, then it's therapy. I think it's nothing to do and it's then, let's dissect this and get to the bottom of it and all that. Dissect what? Like what exactly?
One or two cases, you know, the parent seeker is absolutely laughing his head off after half an hour, whereas prior to that, they were in a state of anxiety, you know. But like you say, perhaps it's just a temporary relief.
Yeah, I mean, who knows, you know, how the whole, I mean, that's just the impression here of that. And there's, I just, it just feels safe, and that, you know, it's, whereas something like this is sort of edgy, you know, in a group, it's, so it has a different sort of feel, and I just, yeah, I wonder about that sort of thing, really, is all. Now, if obviously somebody wanted to chat to me, I'd go with it, but it's just and sometimes people can just be incredibly shy, and they just want, they would much prefer, but that's why I put the telephone number there, on the website. You know, there's nothing wrong or right with anything. It just doesn't seem to be something that happens. You know, like, no, go for it. Sorry.
It doesn't always result in a victory for the seeker. You know, I've seen quite a number of them still.
Yeah. It's so fun. Like, it's nothing is still the rarest of sounds, really. You know, nothing is the rarest of sounds, and nothing on offer still is the rarest of sounds, because this always gives the impression then that in a very subtle way, that somebody can fall away, and we're back in the game. We're back in the knowing and the knower and the one who doesn't know. We're back in the kings and slaves. You know, we're back in all of the games of haves and have-nots, and whether subtle or not. And it just doesn't seem like, but then who knows, you know, I could turn around and give one, but nobody will fall away, and nobody's there to claim their own absence. There'd have to have been someone that could fall away and then claim their own absence. And it's another dream. I know now that there's no one. I don't know that there's no one. There is no one. It's just so, you know, even talking about a self brings life into a self, and then saying it's not there, it can be seen through, you know, you often hear, oh, it is seen. Right. Is it? What's seen exactly? All that's really been described is intimately the hearing of a voice. That. And then whatever reactions come about, whatever is this as that. It's nothing is denied. So people can do whatever they want to do, but from here, the idea of somebody falling away and all that, it's more marketing, even subtle. It's marketing. It's a little, you know, one-on-one, book in for a one-on-one and we'll get to the bottom of this. Okay, get to the bottom, but you won't get to the bottom of trying to get to the bottom of it, because it's inescapably, immediately, whatever is.
I don't know what to say. It does look so attractive, you know, when you hear two or three. I'm just going over the same thing again, but laughter on both sides. Here's something has happened, but like you say, perhaps there's nothing more than that sharing a pint of beer in the pub together.
Essentially, you know, it's possible there could be floods of tears. You know, who's to say what the reaction is? Or it's like nothing happening. It's unimaginable, but it's nothing happening. That's not a thing. There won't be, it's not an experience. It won't be something to talk about or have. So laughter is just laughter, and, you know, frustration is just frustration, and not getting it or whatever would also, it's like, it's also, it gives a purpose then to a one-on-one. Oh, there's a purpose to it. Let's get to the bottom of this. There isn't a purpose to this meeting here. At best, it can be, you know, at best it can be described as a sharing, but there isn't an authority suddenly then. Any idea of authority is only an imagination. There's no knowledge or anything available. There's nothing to help at all. You know, it's really, this is so nothing that it's such a fine, I'm apparently making it now special by giving it more words, but nothing is still the rarest of sounds. It's a kind of fine line. It's like water, and then there's a little bit of dye in there, or it's champagne in some places. They're more expensive though. It's already asking that question. It's already what is felt about it. It's already the wondering. It's already exactly what is flooding the senses as whatever is happening. Felt, described, thought, wondered, every inch is the mystery that won't ever be caught or known as mystery.
Seems like it's real, live, all the time.
It's yeah, it's this. So it's as whatever was said there, but it's not, you know, then noble as that. It's so kind of falling constantly, disappearing constantly, that that's already too many words. By saying that, that's given the impression then that it can then be described, but then it immediately seems to be here anyway, that the words seem to immediately return to the inescapableness of hearing a voice and nothing else then. And what can be said about that? Well, whatever appears to be being said. That would also be this.
Maybe the one-on-one losers, their recordings maybe are not published.
Who knows? Yeah, who knows? Yeah, I just feel like it is the sort of a different energy, but you know, that's some people feel differently, and that's how they feel about it. It doesn't matter. Mika said there may be relaxing with one-on-one meetings or not. Yeah. I mean, however it is, just doesn't seem to be something that I do. But you know, if somebody sent me a message saying they'd like to chat to me, then I mean, my telephone number is there freely on the site. It's funny that it's there, and this is free, like, and obviously still there's requirements and practicalities, but for the most part, this is yeah, freely just how it appears to be. I mean, yeah, it's amazing. And it's just not something that I seem to do. If people do it, then that's what is. Then it just doesn't seem to be something that I would put out there or whatever. Who knows? I could be doing it next week. Stop.
And again, they are so attractive because often the speaker will say, well, my diary is free Tuesday and Thursday. I fully booked up with one-on-ones for the rest of the week. And it leaves me thinking, oh gosh, I've got to get in there quick.
You got to get in there, yeah. And this will be the one. This will be it. And hold your breath until the one-on-one happens. Yeah. Gareth, anytime you want to chat, just pick up the phone.
I'll have to see if you have a slot in your diary first.
Yeah, sorry, indeed. There's a 6-month waiting list, but I think I'll be able to squeeze you in. Yeah. You see, in a way, the other movement is just waiting for something to happen. Really, so then it's the next meeting, it's the next one-on-one Zoom call, it's the next book coming in the door. It can't be it can't be just as waiting for something to happen, because that can't be held on to or known. And yet what is waiting for something to happen. That's how it is then. That would be then what's being felt. And it can feel like almost like a held breath almost. Well, I'll get myself in good form now for this one-on-one. It's funny also that it has to be a certain thing. It has to be uproarious laughter, or I mean, it could be a sneeze. It's everything. It's already everything. There's already no one in there wondering and doing the thinking and asking the questions and listening, hearing, wondering, feeling. So perhaps then the last image is waiting for nothing to appear to happen. And I suppose these sorts of sharings and meetings try to kill all the words, but yet it appears just as words and that's the nature of words, is that they're objectified as real things. So nothing then becomes a real thing that can happen. But already this is nothing as hearing. But that's the naming of it anyway. So there's a full day meeting on Sunday. I might see some of you there. Also hoping to, I want to get back into doing the more consistent meetings. So I expect there'll be meetings on Tuesday morning, Tuesday evening, and then Thursday evening, maybe, I'm not sure, but there'll be at least 2 a week, and then I'll do one probably longer one, see what happens there. Yeah, my telephone number is on the site. Anytime, if you get the urge in the morning time, give me a call. The no helpline, that's what I call it. Anyway, so thank you, and see you later. Bye now.
Thanks, Frank.
Thank you, Frank.
Yeah,
Thank
take
you.
it easy.
Much
Thank
appreciated.
you.
Yeah,
Thanks,
see you later.
Frank.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Take it easy. Have a nice day or evening.
You too.
See you.
Thank you.
Take it whatever way you appear to be taking it.